Hey guys, and today I want to talk about potential teams and trades for Rudy Gobert. It's been announced ever since the first round loss that Rudy Gobert is probably going to get moved because they're going to do everything possible to accommodate Donovan Mitchell so that he does not leave. So let's get right in today's video. Before we start, I want to hear your thoughts down below. What team do you want to trade for Rudy Gobert? Who do you want the Utah Jazz to trade him to? What do you think is fair compensation? And why do you think it should happen? Let me hear those thoughts down below in the comment section. Like and subscribe. Subscribe for 150 videos regarding every single NBA team a month. So let's talk about it. So if you look at Utah Jazz right now, they're $152.9 million dedicated into salary if they accept everything possible and qualifying offers and, team options. We expect them not to keep Udoka Azubuike. Sad for me because I'm a Kansas Jayhawks fan. I go to the University of Kansas. But either way, 152 and Rudy Gobert is 37.6. Now, you look at the Atlanta Hawks, who have been rumored. It's the Atlanta Hawks, New York Knicks, Toronto Raptors, Detroit Pistons, and Brooklyn Nets. The front runners, it seems like, who have the most interest are the Hawks and the Raptors. I've heard a little bit of the Hornets, but that has simmered down. Obviously, the trade would involve probably Clint Capella and Danilo Gallinari. That'll give them $40 million right there. And I think if they do that, they should just throw in Danilo Gallinari, Clint Capella, Kevin Knox, and maybe one first round pick, maybe this year's, and potentially a future first round pick. I don't think anything more than 2 picks, and I would throw in Danilo Gallinari, Clint Capella, and Kevin Knox with either 1 to 2 picks, first round picks, obviously. That would be my package for the Hawks. I think that's fair because the Jazz can cut Danilo Gallinari, and Danilo Gallinari will only cost $5 million in the cap. So right there, they would basically be down what? They'd be only taking on 24 plus 7. And they don't even have to, theoretically, Kevin Knox has a qualifying offer. So I take that back. You can't trade Kevin Knox. So it makes that a little bit more difficult. Do you put in Bogdan? I don't even know if you do that because I just saw Kevin Knox has a qualifying offer. So you would have to pick up his qualifying offer to do this trade, which means the trade would have to wait later. And I wouldn't want to trade Onyeka Okongwu, Jalen Johnson, not Kevin Huerter. The only other person on this roster potentially be traded is Bogdan Bogdanovic and maybe John Collins. But I would like John Collins playing power forward next to Rudy. And then you have DeAndre Hunter, Kevin Huerter, and Trae Young. That's a lot of shooting around Rudy. Okay? So I really think the only other person you should send is Bogdan in this trade. So that's the Hawks trade. Now, if the Knicks do this, the Knicks have $120 million dedicated, and basically they probably would send Julius Randle, and maybe I don't know if they would send Nerlens Noel, and you don't even know. I think maybe Julius Randle, and you got to think about the Utah Jazz because they have Bojan, and they probably want another big man, so it would probably be Julius Randle, Nerlens Noel, and Alec Burks, which would right there put them at like $44 million, and you tell the Jazz to throw them in there, maybe Nickeil Alexander-Walker or Juancho Hernan-Gomez or Rudy Gay in the deal, or even Jared Butler, but I like Butler. So, and then you send a first-round pick. So we got Randle, Alec Burks, and Nerlens Noel for Rudy and a first-round pick, and Rudy Gobert with Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I think and they get a first-round pick back. I think that's a good deal. Now, the Toronto Raptors, this would obviously have to be revolving around Pascal Siakam, and they would probably throw on Armani Brooks or Malachi Flynn. I think closer to Malachi Flynn, unless they're really willing to get rid of Precious Achiuwa. I was thinking that they probably want to keep Precious, but, that's where I think right here, I think maybe Pascal Siakam and Khem Birch for Rudy Gobert. And, when you look at this roster, what do you think? Do you take a guy like Rudy Gay on as the Raptors? I think so. Rudy Gay and Rudy Gobert for Pascal Siakam and Khem Birch and a first-round pick. Then you have the Pistons over here. They would probably give up Jeremy Grant, Kelly Olynyk, and, when you look at that, I think the best is maybe tie in. It's hard. It's hard to look at this roster. Who do you tie in? Because Jeremy Grant and Kelly Olynyk only bring you to $32 million. So do you throw in Kelly and Hayes? Because they have a lot of cheap contracts. So it would have to be Kelly and Hayes, Jeremy Grant, Kelly Olynyk for Rudy Gobert, and a first-round pick being sent from the Pistons to the Jazz. So first-round pick, Grant, Olynyk, and Kelly and Hayes for Rudy Gobert straight up. That would make the money work. I wouldn't do that if I was the Pistons. Now, the Brooklyn Nets, they would trade right here. I guess they would trade Joe Harris, Seth Curry, which would bring them at 26, and then they would hopefully Patty Mills opts in. So that would bring them, they would have to trade Ben Simmons basically, but if they didn't want to trade Kyrie, Ben Simmons, or Kevin Durant, it would be Harris, Seth Curry, that's 26. Then you throw in, have Patty Mills opt in, which would bring you at 32. Then you have Cam Thomas and Deron Sharp, which bring you at 36. Pick up the team option on Kessler Edwards. And then you have enough money with a first-round pick. So you send Kessler Edwards, Deron Sharp, Cam Thomas, Patty Mills, Seth Curry, and Joe Harris, and a first-round pick for Rudy Gobert straight up. Would you do that deal? So let's run it back. Brooklyn Nets, Kessler Edwards, Deron Sharp, Cam Thomas, Patty Mills, Seth Curry, Joe Harris, and a first-round pick for Rudy Gobert straight up. Detroit Pistons, Jeremy Grant, Kelly Olynyk, Kelly and Hayes, and a first-round pick for Rudy Gobert straight up. Raptors, Pascal Siakam and Kem Birch, and a first-round pick for Rudy Gobert and Rudy Gay. The New York Knicks, Julius Randle, Alec Burks, Nerlens Noel, and a first-round pick. And you can maybe throw in Cam Reddish if you want. Now, the Atlanta Hawks, Clint Capella, Danilo Gallinari, most likely, in my opinion, they wait for the qualifying offer of Kevin Knox. If not, I see them packaging Bogdan. I'm going to first say my Danilo Gallinari, Clint Capella, Kevin Knox, and first-round pick if they pick up the qualifying option. If it is the Hawks and they want to keep Bogdan, maybe they send Bogdan, Danilo Gallinari, and Clint Capella, which is going to be like, what? Already with Danilo Gallinari and Bogdan, that's 39.4. So you throw on another 19, that's $58 million, and they need to clear 21. So they probably would package Jordan Clarkson, or not Jordan Clarkson, Juancho Hernangomez, Rudy Gay, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker with Udoka Azubuike picking up his option. So that's the second trade. Juancho Hernangomez, Rudy Gay, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Udoka Azubuike, and Rudy Gobert for Bogdan Bogdanovic, Clint Capella, Danilo Gallinari, and a first-round pick. Let me hear your thoughts down below.